But what is the most important is the client's resourcefulness. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to go tiny? Because it's going to be tricky. It's not going to be a cakewalk. And we're not going to be able to answer all the questions for you.
Hey guys, hello and welcome. I'm Jen. I'm the owner, creator, and interior designer here at TEACUP Tiny Homes. TEACUP Tiny Homes. TEACUP Tiny Homes. If you have any questions, make sure you mark them down because we're going to cover a lot of information right now.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes here as I'm looking at the participants. And I'm going to also try and put my head in the right spot. There we go. As you guys pile on, I hope you're going to be piling on. My name is Jen. I'm going to do another introduction for you here in a little bit. I am the owner, creator, and interior designer at TEACUP Tiny Homes. Yes, it is me. If you are here and if you can hear me, can you drop me a little comment over there? I would love to see your thumbs up, especially if you have seen or talked to us before, whether that be through social medias or through, here we go, Sharon, thank you. Or if that is, if you've had a discovery call with us, or if you have just been a long-time follower, I would love, love, love to hear that. Look at all those thumbs up and comments. Yeah! Thank you guys. Well, thank you so much. I absolutely love this event, especially because we've all been so cooped up over the last few years, and it would be so much better too if I could see all your little faces over on the other side. But hi, Lisa from Michigan, Dubai. I love it. So today, you guys, I'm going to go over 3 different areas, basically. First of all, I'm going to talk about who we are at TEACUP Tiny Homes, who I am a little bit, how we got started. Then I'm going to go into a little bit about our process. And thank you so much to Heather and Kelvin Fritz before us. They are a fellow Alberta tiny home builder, and they are doing such amazing things. So definitely for your super custom designs, check them out. And I believe so much of the information that they shared is also applicable to what we do here. So I hope you guys had a great time. Hi, Loretta, Kelly, great. Thank you guys for joining. Unfortunately, today I cannot do a tour. Why can't I do a tour? Because basically the entire team decided to show up to put in a few extra hours, and it is loud and dangerous back there. So we're going to just be in here in my office, and look at all this good stuff happening there. That's all of some of our staging decor, because we basically have house after house just kind of flowing out through the production line. All right, guys. Okay, so once again, I'll introduce myself again now that more of you are here. My name's Jen. I started TEACUP Tiny Homes in September of 2016. So what does that mean? We are celebrating our 5th anniversary. And wow, has it been a crazy and insane ride, let me tell you. 3 days before we launched our first tiny home, found out I was expecting my second baby, so nothing like having a new business and a newborn and a 2-year-old at the same time. It has been so much fun, but a lot has changed. In the beginning, the tiny home industry, it wasn't really known. Everyone was kind of like, you want to do what now? You want to build spaces that are small and 200 square feet for people to live in. Okie dokie. And reliving some of those moments now, especially 5 years later, it's kind of incredible how it's changed. I definitely wasn't an early adopter. One of the reasons why I really believed in tiny homes was I've been in the residential building industry for 20 years, my entire adult life. And I started in interior design. If those of you don't know my background, hey, if you guys do know kind of a background story about TEACUP, can you put a number 1 in the comment section there, so that way I can really see who I'm talking to. And if you've never heard of TEACUP before, then put a number 2 in there, and then I'll also know who I'm talking to. Oh, lots of 2s, lots of 1s. Oh my gosh, look at all the 2s. Okay, you guys, great. So TEACUP Tiny Homes, 5 years ago, basically, I was in residential construction. I moved up from interior designer to production manager to operations manager. And it got to the point where I actually had my son. I was sitting at home watching a lot of HGTV. And of course, you guys know Tiny Luxury was on. And I fell in love with the tiny home movement. A lot of things happened in Canada too in residential design. And that was the cost to build skyrocketed. Energy efficiency codes came in, which basically for the builder, it meant less profits, although higher cost to the client. And it just didn't work out. It just it wasn't working anymore. And I thought, you know what, tiny has to be the way to go. People are getting tired of the rat race. People are getting tired of living in these huge homes and feeling like they have to buy 15 spare bedroom sets because they have to fill every single space in the house, right? You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you do. So with all of that being said, Teacup Tiny Homes was born, and here we are 5 years later. So what I really, really love about the industry and how it's changed is in Canada, we've had so many different bylaws changed, or municipalities or communities that are now allowing tiny homes in the spaces. Now, I'm not going to say it's easy to find where those are. We build certified homes. So certified to us means CSA Z240 RV, CSA Z241 Park Model. We are also RVIA certified for RV. So if you are building or if you are stateside, we have those certifications for you as well. And then of course, there's the individual inspectors or inspections that's very easy to get certified if you need something else. That being said, tiny home on wheels, they are starting to become more and more locations are being able to become more and more readily available. So if you guys haven't already, we are definitely the most active over on our Instagram account. So if you haven't checked us out there, please do so. At Instagram, it's Teacup Tiny Homes, super easy to follow. And that's where we show a lot of our day-to-day things that are going on just throughout the shop. Thanks, Loretta, you're amazing. So I guess if you guys have questions as I'm chatting, just make sure you plug them into the comments. I'll be skipping back and forth looking at those. I may not get all of them. If I miss some of them, feel free to hop on that Instagram account. If you don't have Instagram, you can head over to our website and shoot me a message. Make sure that you say that you were on the conference today and speak directly to that question, okay? And I will be the one answering every single one of those. How many homes have you built? I love that question, Andrea. So I guess, to be honest, I don't know exactly. 50 plus, I believe. To put it into perspective, there's been a huge amount of growth for us this year. And one of my goals is to definitely is to definitely influence as many people on this planet as physically possible. The mission statement for Teacup Tiny Homes is to diversify housing options globally. So with that, we've had some amazing opportunities this year for growth. Last year, we built 9 tiny homes in total. This year, we've built 19. So it's been a lot of changes, a little bit of pivoting, and it's been super fun, really, to build the team. So although I am the only owner of Teacup, no, my husband is not involved. He sells cars, so he could definitely hook you up with a one-ton truck to tow your tiny home if you needed to. And yeah, basically, I have an amazing team. I don't do it alone. With my design background, I understand construction, I understand design, and the team that is now starting to form and come together as a great, solid group of people. They love what we're doing. It's so different than what they've been able to do. And there is just something so fulfilling and makes my heart so happy to be able to build something specifically for someone to meet their needs, wants, and goals. And then when you see it drive away, you almost shed a little tear. And it's just a beautiful moment. So I want to talk a little bit about our process here at Teacup, because it's one of the things that we get asked about the most. With Teacup, we start out the process by basically spreading all the love online to all of our amazing, amazing friends and followers. And that way you can start to see who we are. And I really like to share the background information about who we are. That's why you'll often see me walking through the shop on a Tuesday afternoon or something like that, because I believe it's very important for you to see not only what's happening up here, but also what's happening in the background. And then after that, basically, when you go through so much of that information and you know that you are just ready to jump in and start building your tiny home, then the discovery call is basically that first direct point of contact. That's kind of a lie. We do a lot of Instagram messaging and Facebook. I'm on the Instagrams pretty much all the time, and I absolutely love talking to you guys. So reach out at any point in time. And then after you book that discovery call, we hop on and talk one-on-one about your needs, your wants, your goals. You would be talking to Shireen. She's amazing. She's our front-end team, and she will take you through and answer all of your questions and tell you more about our process. From there, what we do is we take a design deposit, and then we move on to start to design and create your build. In the last year, we pivoted a little bit more away from doing custom builds, and for the reason that we find now at this point in time that we have so many plans that we've built before that are super, super functional and will actually work best for clients or better for clients with a few tweaks. So we like to call how we build for our clients personalizing versus customizing. We do and will do custom homes as well. However, very limited. You work one-on-one with me, and I just really want to make sure that you're getting the absolute most function for your home possible. So where are we located? I'm just going to answer some questions quick, and then I'll jump back into the process. We're in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. Like I said, 1 hour off of the US-Montana border, and right there in the prairies. Let's see, the average price of the homes that we build are between 150 to 185,000. Typically our 30-foot long builds, they are absolutely the most popular. We've done the most of those. We have some great options for 30-foot long plans. Those are coming in somewhere between that 150 to 165 range, depending on your inclusions. So basically what we do, because it is so individual, we want to make sure that we include the things that you want in your build and really need. If you have a dog, let's create a dog bed for you. If you want to pull out recycling bin or garbage can or something like that, let's do that. If you have a ton of clothes and you need a walk-in closet and you just don't want to get rid of them because that's one sacrifice you're not willing to make, then let's put it in a walk-in closet for you and figure that out. And we do all of that after the design deposit is received, and then we hop on an onboarding call, and that's where we really assess your needs, your wants, and your goals. When people start building tiny homes, there were some growing pains of figuring things out. Yes. So the really cool thing about where we're at now in the process, when we started, there was a lot more figuring out. Now that we've kind of narrowed down how everything works and the systems that are tried, tested, and true. One of the good things about being in business for 5 years, we have 5 years of clients that we can go back to and say, hey, how is this working? They will usually get a hold of us, and I love it. Our very first build went to its second owner now, and I love that they've been communicating to us, although it's an incredibly different build itself because we've changed so much. They're telling us the things that have really, really worked, the things they love, and even sharing with us some of the things that haven't worked so well. So it's really great to be able to go back through that to really get rid of some of those issues in service and warranty. So when you're building, this is Canadian dollars. Sorry, guys. So I speak in Canadian dollars. You can do that conversion rate into US for sure. Is there any kind of certification or course to be eligible for tiny house design? Not really. I'm an interior designer. That is my background. So I went through a lot of the design things, all the design things in my 18 to 20-year-old life, and then just had the opportunity to apply it to residential construction. Out of those things there, you just really learn how to use space. And when we decided to build tiny homes, it went from having so much extra space to having very little space. So we're looking at every half inch everywhere. Like if there's a space this big, it's like, what can we put in there? We could put a pan in there or something like that, right? So it's a totally different way of thinking, and it's one that's really hard to explain unless you're in the nitty gritty of it all. So design wise, I would say just follow your favorite tiny home designers and TEACUP Tiny Homes, for example, and make sure that you're just paying attention to it. And it is really one of those things where you just have to do it and learn more as you go. Let's see. Website, teacuptinyhomes.com. Thanks for asking. And average build time for tiny home. It really depends on, like, the actual build in the shop is about, I would say, between 4 to 8 weeks, depending on your size, how custom it is, how personalized, and of course, how long it takes to get some of the products that you want to use. So we're using a clawfoot tub right away. And yeah, that's just going to take a little bit longer. So we have to adjust the build time. Build time, are they prefab as well? Well, technically, yes, they are prefab because we're prefabricating them in our shop, but we don't like give you a kit or anything. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Solar capabilities, we will run a conduit line so that you can hook it up to solar later. The thing about solar capabilities is that if we hire someone to put the solar in here, we're going to charge our markup on top of that, and then it's going to weigh a lot, and then it's going to cost you more to get it shipped wherever you need it to go. So what we like to recommend to our clients is sourcing someone locally, because they're going to have their own system and way of doing it. They're also going to be able to help you with that troubleshooting. Differences between CSA requirements and RVIA. So RVIA is not applicable in Canada. So typically you need to be CSA certified or follow those to get your Canadian financing. A lot of that has to do with it. Some of the requirements, they're very similar. We build pretty much the same. There's just these small differences, but we really don't change our spec very much at all. Do you do both foundation builds and on wheels? Yes, we have done foundation builds. We have a tiny home, the only tiny home permanently installed in a foundation in Fort McMurray. That is something we can do, although this year and next year we are focusing more on wheels. That is what we've gotten to be very, very good at. And foundation builds, those will probably come in the next year or two after that. Do you deliver to Toronto? All the time. We actually, like I said before, Ontario is our largest market. We deliver to Toronto all of the time. So just call and let us know. Lumber costs in Canada, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They yeah, they skyrocketed, they came down, and then everything else went up. Right now it's vinyl and getting the resin and that kind of thing. So my viewpoint is you worry about things you can control. You don't worry about the things that you can't. And it's made it interesting, but it has definitely made it fun. I love your guys' questions. Please, please, please keep them coming. Pennsylvania, we can deliver anywhere. So with our certifications and with the manufacturing, we're also NHTSA certified, National Highway Transportation Act, and National Safety Mark here in Canada, which are also very important. So we have all those, and that allows us to be able to go anywhere. We have a delivery team that will drive anywhere also. So if there's any questions, I mean, Hawaii, yes. If you can get it there on a barge or a boat or a semi or whatever, we can get it there for you. So part of our build process here, basically we're at the deposit and then we're at the onboarding call. And when you talk to our team about your needs, your wants, and your goals, we start coming up with ideas and thoughts. And you have the whole team right here in front of you when you start building with TEACUP, because we really want to know you. It's so important. It's such an intimate process that we really cannot build you the best home and make those decisions when they need to be made if we don't know you. And guys, I'm not going to brag about it, but we kind of have some really awesome clients, like maybe the best in the world. Not saying if you're not ours, you're not the most amazing client, but we have so much fun, and I can truly honestly say that we have become really great friends with a lot of them. So if you want to see more about our clients as well, we have an awesome YouTube channel where we do a lot of tours, and we also give you these little tidbits of who our clients are and the process that they went through to build their tiny home. So check that out. It's TEACUP Tiny Homes over on the YouTube. Google it and you'll be able to find our channel for sure. Do you have clients who are well off financially and choose to live in a tiny house? I need to know if the driving force behind switch to tiny home. Yes. Oh my goodness. So if you guys know the team over at Big Calm, like they've really created that, and they spoke last time right after me, I believe. But if you know who they are, they've created a tiny home village for professionals, people that want to work from their homes. I actually find a lot of our clients are professionals who have money, who just want a simpler lifestyle. Personally, from my own experience, I have no interest in taking care of a large house. I have my 2 children, I have my company, I have my hubby who sells cars. And for me, as a middle-aged woman who is highly ambitious, and with all the things I have going on, I don't want that extra amount of things to look after. I think you guys get it. I think you guys know and understand. Simplicity is so key. And that is one of the driving reasons behind people going tiny. I love that question. It's so great. So I guess, let's see, we're wrapping up. Keep those questions coming. Where am I in our build process? I have no idea. But when we start to build, we do certain video walkthroughs. We use Zoom all the time. We record the meetings. And really, we just want to make sure that we are building you the best house that we can. And with that too, I find one of the most interesting parts about designing and building tiny homes is that there's so much information out there. And a lot of the information can often come from like the one-off, one-time builds or the DIYers. And I absolutely love it because there's so much creativity there. The other part of that is once you get to reproduce the systems, there's this magic that happens because we can talk to our clients and we can see if things are working and tweak products and, oh, that door didn't work. We don't want to have that there. And we are now at the point where we're looking at and assessing how the things that we put in the tiny homes have really been used and how they've worked and how they've functioned over the years. So that's super, it's a really cool place to be in right now. My brain, although I am the designer, instead of making things super pretty, I like to do that too, but I always go to function first. And I want to know, I'm more focused on the function of a tiny home 5, 10, 20 years in the future. And if I know it's not going to work for you that long, then I don't want to put it in. And we're going to be looking for a new solution, basically. Which province is best for tiny home permits? You don't need a permit for a tiny home on wheels unless you're site installing it. So that would all really depend. I find that it's parcel to parcel, municipality to municipality. But what is the most important is the client's resourcefulness. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want to go tiny? Because it's going to be tricky. It's not going to be a cakewalk. And we're not going to be able to answer all the questions for you. And you will have to make a ton of phone calls and send emails. And you're going to have to look into stuff and you're going to research it. So what I find we align the best with clients who really have that. That's the type of person I am. I will figure out anything if given the task and if I want to. And our clients are very much the same. So I love that the question about financing always comes up as well, because that has been one of the biggest changes in the industry too. When we started out, there were cash deals. We were building tiny homes through using our clients' cash, and it was very interesting. They got creative. They were resourceful. If you guys follow Adelina on YouTube, she's my Big Tiny House Life. She is an amazing wealth of information, and she was one of our first builds. So if you do follow her, you would find out a lot about us and who we are and how that went for her. Now, fast forward 4 years later, after we built Adelina's or started Adelina's, the process with her, there's a lot more options for financing. We have in-house financing for, I shouldn't say in-house, we use a third party, but we connect you with that person in-house here at TEACUP Tiny Homes. To get financing, this is Canadian specific. We cannot lend through this program to our US clients, but if you are getting in touch with us, some of the first things that you should know if you've decided that you want to go tiny. The first thing is you should really know your credit score, because financing is on approved credit, right? So if you're on approved credit, then that means you've got to know that score, and it's super easy to find that out when you go online. And if you don't quite have the right credit score to be able to get financing, it's super easy to change that and increase your credit score. So talk to a lender or talk to anyone in finance really, and they're going to be able to give you some strategic tips on how to increase that score. Oh yes, there's Adelina's channel there, Loretta, I love it. You're like my little assistant in my back pocket, thank you. So financing, make sure you know your score, and then you need to make sure that you have income coming in. So if you don't have a job that can support, or if you don't, I shouldn't say job, if you don't make the income to pay off those payments, you won't get approved. And of course, then there's ways to get super resourceful and use your friends and family and whatever credit that you have if you need it, or cash to be able to purchase and build your tiny home. Typical debt income ratio needed, possibly 35%, I think. Does that sound right? We can definitely give you all of that. Our financing interest rates are between 4 to 6%. And basically they can be over 20 years. You can't pay them out before 6 months. So it's pretty typical of an RV loan. And basically when you talk to our team, we'll hook you up with that person that helps us out. What designs are best if you want a tiny home on wheels to travel often? Oh yeah, great question for sure. Basically, I would say something lighter weight. I personally have pulled many of our homes and driving them. I prefer driving them over driving an RV. RVs are so light, they just kind of flop around. Tiny homes are a little bit more sturdy, but also they can be like kites going down the road too. So Just knowing what that feels like if you're driving it all the time. You just really want to make sure that the installation's done right. We live in a very windy community. So we often have winds of 120 kilometers. And so we're very used to building exterior envelopes to make sure that they accommodate with that. But yeah, it all really depends on your needs, right? One thing I think, let's talk about the favorite tiny homes. I feel like the last one that went out is always the favorite. So if you check out our plans online, we have a featured tiny home section. Those are those plans that we've really found work the best for our clients with small tweaks. So check those out, and there's a lot of pictures there. And if you, like I say, have any questions, we're teacuptinyhomes.com, and follow us on the Instagrams. Okay, guys, running out of time. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope I get to talk to some of you guys again in the near future. And if not, maybe I'll see you next time. Take care.